out, you never know.
That's right.
All right, here we go. Joining us in studio now, Brekkin Baker, Darrell White, two of the cast members from Lend Me a Tenor. Big gala coming up at the WYO Theater. It's getting close.
Yeah.
Real
Absolutely.
close. Tell us a bit about the show itself, the kind of the story.
Sure. Lend Me a Tenor takes place in Cleveland at the Cleveland Opera House. And the famous Italian opera star Tito Morelli is due to arrive and pretty much save the opera house. And Tito Morelli is played by Darrell White, accent and everything, which is super fun. And there are lots of fun mishaps that happen, including some mishaps with Tito. And
Well, I would expect so. There's got to be some of that.
Absolutely. Some nice backstage things that no one expects to happen. So I can't say too much without giving too much away.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil it, yeah.
Absolutely. But it's definitely a hoot and a half. Lots of laughing. So, yes, it's lots of great music, lots of great dancing. And lots of great Italian accents.
How long did you work on the accent there, Darrell?
How long did I work on?
Yeah, how many minutes did you spend perfecting it?
Well, actually, I worked hard on my accent. My son was like, "Hey, you sound Russian. You need to work on that."
So you took the Russian edge off, and you were good to go.
So I tried to take I told him I'm just Eastern Italian.
Yeah.
Northeastern.
So the gala's coming up, and there's kind of a party at Franklin's before the show itself. It's going to be a big night.
Yeah, it's the pretty much the solo fundraiser for the WYO Theater through the year. Yeah, the gala is Saturday. It's at 7:00, but they have all kinds of things, silent auctions and all kinds of raffle things that they can do throughout the evening. But it starts early. I mean, the doors of the WYO open at 5. People can walk around and look and see what they have to auction off. But then they go over to Frackleton's for hors d'oeuvres, and people dress up, and it's a big deal. And then they come over and they enjoy the show, basically, is the way it goes.
At 7 p.m.
Yeah, at 7:00, yeah.
So dressing up, this what's the period, 30s?
Yeah.
We're in the 30s.
Is that what you encourage people to do, dress in that time period? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
Or find some kind of a Italian accent to put on?
I think there's a competition. I think people get judged on it.
Yes, I think
and
so.
People win things, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the tickets for the gala on the 22nd, considering it is the sole fundraiser for the WYO Theater, are $103 per person. But there is a special deal. If you buy 10 tickets, you get one free.
Oh, cool.
So if you have a big group that needs a fun night that starts at 5 and doesn't end until 11 o'clock, this is it. This is it for you.
That's you're getting bang for your buck there.
That's absolutely.
Do you know why it's 103? It seems like kind of an arbitrary number. Why 103?
I think it's actually 103.50, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Someone did some
idea.
math somewhere and divided it up and said, this is exactly the amount we need to raise.
I don't know.
Either a tax or a fee. I also, my mom, she's like, I don't know, but at the box office it said it was $103.50.
And 50 cents.
I said, no, that's right. That's absolutely right. So
That's interesting. I want to know the answer to this. This has intrigued me. Here.
Yeah.
absolutely.
We'll ask and get back to you on that.
Please do. It'll drive me crazy for the rest of the day.
Right.
How much? How did you get involved in theater? I mean, this is there's a lot of talent around this area, but some people. It's like I didn't know that. There's a lot of people in this player. Like I didn't know they were in that kind of into that kind of thing. Yeah. So how did you get involved?
Well, Brekkin has a far longer story than I do. She's far more talented than I am.
You just do the accents.
Yeah. Well,
Sure.
I did some plays and some things in college when I was in college, and then basically I took a 20-something year hiatus, and then back, oh my goodness, what was it, 5 or 6 years ago when we did Anything Goes, I jumped back into it, and I liked it, and kind of been doing it ever since then. And it's just fun. It's fun to do it. The camaraderie we have, meeting new people, being part of the cast, being just being a part of that and helping our community too really does.
Yeah, absolutely.
A
This
lot
is
of great things.
it's a fun time. These are always a lot of fun. Brekkin, you have a longer story. He said you have 30 seconds. Go.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll make it as short as I can. I was 8 years old when I started doing theater here in Sheridan with Tandem Productions, Richard and Tammy Davis.
Some of the junior things that they were doing, yeah?
Absolutely.
What was your first one?
My first one was The Music Man Jr.
Okay.
And I remember getting the call to be in the chorus, and I was 8, and it was it was one of the
biggest
happiest
day of
days
your
of my
life.
life. I was jumping up and down. I really learned kind of what goes into making a musical. I was like, oh, these people know their stuff, and then I know my stuff, and then we all put it together and we make a show. And it was a really cool thing that I realized I loved at 8 years old.
So you were hooked on that very early then?
Yep, absolutely. And then I just continued to do those junior plays, and I did a couple musicals in high school, and I also did a couple galas as well. I did How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, and I also did one called Return to the Forbidden Planet, if anybody remembers that. It was really fun and different,
Yeah.
so as you can tell by the name. But then I traveled with an international nonprofit group called Up With People, and I performed for 2 years with them, and then I moved to New York, and I studied for 2 years there. And I'm in a transition period now, and so I am hanging out in Sheridan until the beginning of the year. And what a better way to spend some time with some wonderful, wonderful, talented people.
Sure.
Than to do the gala, which is home for me. So
what would you consider to be the end of the transition period?
January is the end of the time.
So it's getting close then.
It's close enough. Not as close as the gala and the encore performances, but definitely close enough.
I like how she keeps trying to bring it back into the business of why we're here is to promote the actual show itself. I imagine a part of that business is we have some other people to thank, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We have some sponsors who we could not pull this show off without. We have Mickey and Kathy McNichol. Kathy McNichol's also our musical director.
Okay.
Craftco Metal Services, and Marva Craft is our director. And then we have Brooke Holstead, Dines Chiropractic, Jim and Brenda Haskett, Scott Davis and Mary Lindman, Frackleton's Fine Food and Spirits, Kennan Sign Shop, Malone, Belton, Abel, the Sheridan Press, Ross, and Noemi Longhorn. And those are our sponsors. Thank you so much for what you do so that we can do what we love to do.
$103.50
for the 20-second.
For the 20-second performance. And then, of course, there's encore shows after that. If 103 is... If 103 was okay, but 103.50 is just too much.
Right, 103, yeah. October 27th through 29th, we have encore performances at 7:30 at night, and then we have a matinee at 2 o'clock on October 30th, and I believe those are about $27.
And 50 cents.
And I don't, no.
49 cents.
49, yeah.
And, of course, like I said, Marva Craft's our our show director. Kathy McNichol is our musical director. Jeannie Hall does some wonderful costumes, and we also have a wonderful 11-person live band, and we had our first rehearsal with them last night, and it just
kicked it up a notch. I bet.
It sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. So
it's great, the caliber of talent we have in this town. The level of the performances is very impressive.
Right.
So it's worth going to see for sure. And the gala is the big night. I mean, if you can spring $103.50, it's definitely worth every penny of it.
Right. Absolutely. And we've got people like AJ Longhurst in it, who's one of the leads, Stephanie Zukowski, who shows off her soprano skills to the max. We have Erin Kranz, who is
my wife,
Darrell's wife.
Dr. Scott Bateman,
who's my father. Yeah. So
she plays Maggie.
I play the ingenue who's obsessed with Tito Morelli. So
I can see where there'd be quite an interesting storyline coming along with the interaction here. So
you have no idea.
So take what you expect and then throw that out the window and something else comes along, huh?
Yep.
Absolutely. And tickets can be purchased at the box office at the WYO or WYOtheater.com.
All right. Break a leg. Brekkin Baker, Darrell White, thanks a lot for stopping by this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.